we're back. This is Elliot and Jose coming to you from Dreamland Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois. Thank you for joining us here on the Comic Culture Warrior video channel. So we were talking about movies in the last segment and...
Kind of got sidetracked.
A little sidetracked, that's okay. Because it led us into pretentious writers. And before we started recording today, again, like I had said before, I got in a little early to read a bunch of stuff, and Jose and I generally have conversations about things before we even start talking about them on camera.
Yeah, we really shouldn't do that anymore, because then I just have to repeat everything I fucking said like a half hour ago.
But you make such great points.
Well, that's why you should have it on all the time. You should just be taping. You put that fucking thing on your shoulder, record everything. From the minute you walk in the door.
If you want, but God, the editing. You know how many times you go to the bathroom?
That's true.
Yeah, so, anyway. A lot of talk has been made about the Thor title and how J. Michael Straczynski is leaving the book. He felt kind of forced off. I mean, he doesn't say it, but fans will say it for him.
Right.
He was forced off the book.
Because they wanted to bring Thor into the Dark Reign.
Into Dark Reign, this whole other thing, yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I can't do it, and blah, blah, blah. So he took the classy way out, and he's not saying that... he's putting it all on himself. He's saying that I am not capable of writing the book under these circumstances. So, hey, you know what?
Some other writers would come out and say that.
Really? And hell, he's going to DC now, and he'll be writing Superman soon. So, hey, good for him. But who are they bringing in to do Thor? So, actually, I've seen a couple comments in regards to this on different boards. Kieran Gillen has been tapped by the powers that be at Marvel to write Thor. He's picking up Thor after... Straczynski's gone. Mm-hmm.
And Billy Tan is
taking over the title. The art chores, no longer will you have Olivier Coipel on the book. Those wonderful, wonderful layouts and pencils.
You know how people always say that Greg Land rips stuff off from porn? Someone should check his hard drive. That if that's all he draws from, can we show that?
Okay, yeah, show it. This is what... Talk about going off on a tangent.
FBI, get on that. Get that guy's hard drive, because we know he only rips stuff off of porn. And
what are young babies doing? Anyway.
Sorry.
For those who don't know who Kieran Gillen is...
he is the writer of Phonogram. Over at Image.
Which is actually a very well-respected independent title. You hear industry folks raving about that book all the time. Warren Ellis is telling everyone on his e-newsletters, if you're not reading Phonogram, you should, you got to go out and buy this book. So, is a case where the powers that be are getting a name established within the indie ranks to write one of their top-tier characters, which is kind of cool. But what did you say about Karen Granell? Why do people read Phonogram?
The reason I read Phonogram, and the reason I believe people read Phonogram, is because it is so utterly pretentious that they love it. Because it's all about music. It's all about, and all the bands that they talk about are all indie bands, like all low-key bands that are cool in certain circles.
Right.
And for me, half the stuff goes over my head. Plus, on top of that, the book takes place in Britain. So there's like all these underground British bands that I've never heard of. I'm into British music, but I've never heard of half of this stuff. But the thing that I have to respect is that, like I just said, the book is so fucking pretentious that I have to respect the fact that it is. Because it pulls it off perfectly. Because that's just the air that you have when you read that book. And that's what that book has going for it. How is he going to bring his smug self over to the Thor and do the same thing?
Well,
because I think that's what that book is about. That Phonogram is about. I think that's what people dig about Phonogram.
I've never read Phonogram. Again, that's one of those books that everyone says you should read, but I haven't read it.
Warren Ellis said that.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
What?
Warren Ellis said that you should be reading that book.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. I should pay attention more. But on the one hand, I think it's kind of cool that they're bringing in somebody, again, from the independent ranks to be on a title like Thor, get them, try to take that attention that the book gets, and hopefully it translates to the creator. But we've had this discussion in the past about what happens when you put certain creators on certain books or certain certain characters with anyone.
Right, but here's the thing. He is kind of an untested guy in the Marvel Universe. Like, you couldn't ease the transaction between... I mean, he has a new book in here also.
Yeah, I was going to say, he has another book in here.
But this is Thor. Everyone is in a tiff over what happened with Thor.
Right.
Right? You couldn't get, like, Fraction, who's written Thor, who's written a bunch of one-shots,
yeah,
and, like, get it in there for a couple issues, and then make the transition over to Gillen.
Right.
That's what they should have done. I mean, you put a guy in... Yeah.
Because they've also got Gillen's doing S.W.O.R.D.
Which is a spin-off of Astonishing X-Men.
Right.
Which this is what, they're canceling good books for.
Yeah, with the Agent Brand character.
A book that'll last for 5 issues.
Well, again, they're trying to test the waters with new things, and I kind of want to say I give them their props that they're taking, the lower tier characters, and they're giving untested creators a chance to go in there and do their thing.
Oh, and Deadpool gets a 3rd monthly book in here, by the way, too, in the new previews. 3 monthly Deadpool books now.
I mean, let's not forget, Daredevil was, for the longest time, a 2nd-tier character, and Frank Miller, in his day, was an untested creator. So you're trying to hopefully catch lightning in a bottle with these types of
but I just don't know how this is going to play out. Because if people who are reading Thor are going to boycott it because Straczynski isn't going to do it,
right,
wouldn't you want to get a name on there to try to pull some of those people in?
Right.
That's just to try to get some of them to change. Like, well, Matt Fraction, he did write some of those cool Thor one-shots.
Those Thor one-shots were really good. I was kind of hoping that they would tap Fraction to do Thor, but his plate's already kind of full.
Yeah, that was the rumor in San Diego that he was taking over Thor, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, but,
but that's all I'm saying. They should have gotten a well-known guy to take over for Thor for a couple
for
issues.
A little bit.
And let people forget that Straczynski's not in the book anymore.
Right.
Whereas, you're like, who is this guy?
Right.
No, Straczynski left, and this is what we get?
Well, yeah, and again...
For people who don't know that he actually is a very capable writer.
Well, again, I wouldn't know either way because I don't read Phonogram. So there are, again, certain writers with certain sensibilities that don't always translate into, big... I mean, I don't know if I necessarily picture Kieran Gillen writing slam-bang action on S.W.O.R.D., which is what I kind of expect with Agent Brand and Lockheed, and then going into Thor, which is a lot having to do with Asgard and the gods among men. Maybe that might be an easier fit, but
well, yeah, because Phonogram, there's magic in there, and there's magic in Thor's world, too. Thor. So that's probably the only thing that they have in common.
Yeah. Wow. 2 Marvel titles.
Well, we shall see. Yeah, 2 in 1 month. So.
In 1 month.
I mean, good for him. He's getting work.
No, it is good for him.
I just hope that he doesn't get screwed over by just, the whole Straczynski thing and stuff like that. So we'll have to wait to see what happens.
You want to set your new talent up to succeed, and this might not be exactly the way to do that.
I mean, the S.W.O.R.D. thing makes sense. It's a new book. They're sneaking it in there.
Right.
It's it's been tested. It's a spin-off book. But Thor is kind of like a big thing right now. And like I've just said numerous times in the last 5 minutes, it's kind of, you don't want to fuck with that right now.
Right. Well, they are. And they have, and they did, and we'll see. All right, when we come back, we'll have...
XX, baby. Deadpool is the book right now, man. The regular Deadpool book.